Today in our 2014 Ford Edge, we'll be having a look at and installing the Roadmaster battery charge line kit for towed vehicles, part number RM-156-25. Here's what our charge line kit looks like installed. Now the reason you may want one of these on your vehicle is if you're using a portable braking system when you're flat towing your vehicle behind your motorhome. Your portable braking system requires a source of power. Sometimes you can just plug it into your cigarette lighter or your power outlet on your dash, but every time the pedal is depressed in the vehicle, your battery is getting lower and lower and lower on charge. Without this in place, you won't have a way of your battery being recharged with your engine off in the vehicle when it's towed behind a motorhome. With this in place, this uses the constant 12-volt charge line off the 7-way on the back of the motorhome to run power into this circuit breaker here, through this line here, and then out this line back to your battery post on the positive side. Now the connection is made on the front of our vehicle through our 6-pole round connector. Now that we've gone over some features of our Roadmaster charge line kit, we'll show you how to get it installed. To begin our install, we'll show you how we have our charge line wire routed. We taped it up with our 4-pole flat wire here for our towed vehicle lighting system. Use the wire loom that comes with the kit. We did this when we had the fascia off so we could hide it behind the fascia easily when we installed our base plate. It goes through a grill behind it, then comes out through a hole in our core support where our hood latch release cable goes through. And it comes out right here, right to the side of our battery. We'll start by separating our 4-pole flat wire so it's separate just like our charge wire. Okay, and when we're separating it, if any of our wire became exposed like this one, we'll just clip it off past the exposed part and we'll make out the rest of ours even with that. And we'll strip back the insulation from all 5 of our wires. Now our wires are going to go into a 6-pole round connector. This is a Pollock one, which we have available on our website as part number PK12720. We'll slide the dust cover on off of our connector, and we'll slide that back over our wires. We'll start with our ground wire on our connection. That's the one marked GD. We'll loosen the set screw on up. And we'll use the white wire for that. And we'll tighten the set screw on up. Now we'll do our tail light and marker light. That's the one marked TM. And that'll get our brown wire. Okay, we'll do our charge line next. That goes to our middle terminal. It's the one that has an A with an arrow pointing for it. That stands for auxiliary. And that gets our red wire again. Okay, now we'll do our right turn signal. That goes to the terminal marked RT. That'll get our green wire. Okay, last but not least, we're left with our left turn signal. And that gets our yellow wire. And that goes to the terminal marked LT. Okay, now we'll take some dielectric grease, which we have available on our website, and we'll just flood the back side of this connector here, and this will help prevent any corrosion buildup that could potentially occur, especially if any moisture were to somehow get inside. Now we'll slide our dust cover back and on over, and then we'll tape it in place and cover up the rest of our wires here with some electrical tape. And by doing this, we won't have any colored wires hanging out behind our grill, and we can help prevent moisture from getting inside. Now we'll attach our 6-pole connector to the prongs that are provided on our base plate using the self-tapping screws that came with our base plate. Now we need to find a place to mount our circuit breaker. Now ideally you need to mount this someplace where it's not going to interfere with anything on your vehicle that's routinely serviced. Up above our battery, this will keep it up and out of the way and make for an easy connection for us. And we'll secure it in place with provided self-tapping screws. Now we'll measure off how much red wire we're going to need to make the connection to the copper terminal on our breaker. It's the one that's labeled BAT for battery. I'm going to make sure we leave a little bit of slack in it here too. All right, that's plenty right there. So we'll cut off the excess, strip back some insulation. Take our small ring terminal, stick it on the wire, and then we'll crimp it into place. Remove the nut from the terminal now. Slide the ring terminal onto the stud and replace the nut. Now on the segment of red wire that we cut off, we'll strip off the insulation from one end. We'll stick on our other small ring terminal. And we'll crimp that one down too. And we'll stick that on the other side of our breaker. Now we'll take off the protective cover from the positive side of our battery. Measure off how much of a red wire we're going to need to make a connection to one of our terminals here. Making sure again we have a little bit of slack. Cut off the excess. We'll be making our connection to this stud right here underneath this 10mm nut. So we'll strip back some insulation and we'll use our large ring terminal for this. Crimp that down. We'll remove the nut now. Place our ring terminal over that stud and reinstall the nut. And that completes our look at and installation of the Roadmaster battery charge line kit for towed vehicles, part number RM-156-25 on our 2014 Ford Edge.